not just another Jessica. I'm Jessica, and this is Daphne, and today we're working in the garden. I'm going to show you a new way I am planting my tomatoes this year and give you a tour of our spring garden. So let's get started with the tomato. I live in the Pacific Northwest and it is still fairly cold here, so I'm using a technique to have my tomato be able to be planted earlier. I'm using a can from a large container of vegetables that I got at the store, and what I did was I removed the top and the bottom, and then I'm going to plant my tomato, and I picked an early girl that can be planted early in the season, and I'm going to put the can around it and it will act as a greenhouse and keep the tomato warm even when it's chilly out, and it's reflective, so it'll give it a little bit of extra light too. So I have my pot here. It just has potting soil in it and some mulch. It's a mix that I made. And I decided to put my tomatoes in pots this year because that way I can rotate the pot and get to the back sides of them to harvest them more easily and to pluck the unnecessary branches off more easily. So I'm going to start this now. I'm going to put the tomato in.
I do love waves, Mama.
Mm-hmm. My next step is going to be placing the all the way empty can around the tomato, and I'm going to push it down so it won't blow away when we get wind. That's good. Thank you, assistant.
Thanks, Mom.
And then the last thing I'm going to add in is marigold, because I read that having marigolds near your tomatoes helps to keep pests away from them. So this year I have 3 tomatoes planted so far. 2 of them are here, and each of them is going to have a marigold in with them. So I'm going to make a hole on the side where this can fit, and I'm not sure, I might need to move these tomatoes into a larger container later in the season, but for right now they're so small this tends to work out just fine. And we'll get a hole here,
Whoa,
and we'll put the
very
marigold
cold in
in.
here.
It is still cold. I agree. Alright, so now we have tomato in a warming can and a marigold to keep the pests away. And the last step is putting a little bit of tomato fertilizer on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll be done. Today we have a spring garden tour. So we have pulled all the strings off of our sugar snap pea box, and we are ready to replant those. They were a favorite last year of the kids. Our strawberry boxes have really filled in, and they've even started jumping down into the cracks between the boxes. So we decided to dig up some of those and start another box of strawberries. So this year we'll have 3 boxes of strawberries. In the back you can see our thornless blackberry is really starting to take off. So we dug a few of those up, and they're going to grow on the fence here. Over here is a new part of the garden this year. We put vertical fencing. So my husband was able to use wire roll fence and some farm metal stakes, and we have these vertical trellises ready to go for when it's time to plant. And one of these is going to have vertical pole green beans, and the other one is going to have vertical squash. So that should be a good thing to have going this year. All of our fruit trees are still doing well from last year. This is our elderberry plant. This is a black lace elderberry. We haven't had any fruit on it yet, but it did flower, and we have a few elderberries around the property, so hopefully this one starts to produce fruit. Here we have our lower beds ready to go, to decide what to put in there. Here we have some tomatoes started. Our grapes are growing up the trellises. And this is our thornless blackberry from last year. And it's really doing well. It just goes along the fence line. We got quite a bit of fruit off of it at the end of summer last year. And these are our new puppies, Bilbo and Millie. Bilbo, Millie! Hello, puppies! Hello! We lost our sweet girl Ruby over the lockdown. Well, we didn't lose her. She passed away from illness. So we have two new puppies. And they're very sweet. They like to play together. They're brother and sister. We rescued them from a dog rescue down in Oregon. So they are full of energy. Here we have our raspberries. And we have these again growing on the wire fence with the metal stakes holding it in. And we have our raspberries from last year, and they've put on quite a bit of growth, which is good. And then we have new smaller ones that are going to fill in here. And this is totally new this year to me, is I am growing dahlias, and I planted a bunch of them. So all of these popsicle sticks mark different dahlias that we have planted, and hopefully those will come in and look really nice. And then over here we have all of our fruit trees still. And in these tomato cages I've planted flowering perennials. So hopefully those will come up and attract pollinators to the garden. So we have 5 different flowering perennials back here. And we have a hydrangea and a lavender. And we have a huckleberry that we tried to transplant from the farm, but it did not make it. Hi, Daphne.
Hello, Mom.
And then here we have our row of blueberries and our salmon berries and our rain barrel. So the backyard is ready to go, and hopefully we have another good year of garden production. Here we are in the front yard. We've just added in a little bit of color. I found plants that were on clearance. They were getting ready to get rid of them at the store, so I got them for, I think they were a quarter or 50 cents. And then we have our other elderberry out front, as well as some ground cranberry vines. And I added in some new ground cover, so hopefully these little pink things are supposed to spread and kind of fill in. And we have a gooseberry that's growing really nicely out here, and 2 kinds of currants. On this side of the front yard, I am making a few changes. I had a raspberry right here by the sidewalk, and that was not a good idea because all the local dogs used it as a bathroom. So I dug up the raspberry from out here, and there are 2 blueberries that I also need to transplant to the backyard, and I'm going to put in, I think, a lilac and 2 lavender. But we have some new ground cover out here, and I just put in a little bit of colorful decorative items so that hopefully the bees will be attracted to the area over here. And our peach tree is already starting to blossom there, so that is nice. Well, that's everything from our spring garden tour. I'm really enjoying getting our yard set up, and hopefully we'll have a really nice and productive garden this year. It's so nice to be out of the house again and get to be outside and enjoy the sunshine and a little bit of hard work. It makes you feel so much better and so much more alive than being inside all winter long. Remember to like and subscribe for more videos, and we'll see you again soon. Bye!